Hello, 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 hello. Uh, man, I just want to tell you all, whatever you're going through, okay, I'm telling you, what's on the other side is gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. But, what I wanted to talk to you today is some things I've noticed, okay? Some things I've really picked up on concerning the difference between Comedicism and the difference between the Hebrew Israelites. And to further expand some other thoughts, okay? So, what's the biggest overarching theme with Christianity versus with most other, spirituality communities, okay? And I realized at the deep core of it, most people that submit themselves to Christianity seriously, especially the Hebrew Israelite culture, especially for women, notably for women, usually it comes from a deep place to align with what we believe to be Source or the Father, humbly, with total submission and obedience and love. But what I've noticed about Comedicism is that all it really does is a bunch of knowledge, a bunch of cosmic intelligence to fuel what overarching theme, what narrative, and it's really pride at the end of the day. And really, what do both of these really serve? Like, how do they differ and how they affect your life, okay? To have knowledge, if we were only to combine both of these two things together, family, we would already be far, far ahead, okay? But y'all, I can speak from my experience of 4 years of being in the Hebrew Israelite religion that it protected me so heavily in high school. I was not interested in weed, drugs, smoking, sex, any of those things, okay? I was covered, and things really, when the Tanakh talks about the hedge of protection that is around you, it does exist. And not only that, but going on to my other point, I'm probably going to expand this video because I'm on my lunch break and I don't have much time, or what we've been told to believe is time, which ain't real, but you know the deal. So it's the fact that you don't need angels, deities, spirit guides, ascended masters, even a twin flame, okay? I said, stop painting. I'm reading notes, by the way. Stop putting so much emphasis on your celestial lineage and learn to be truly present here. Yes, you are God, but how does that knowledge directly correlate with your life? You really don't need these angels, and one of the biggest things was that in the Hebrew Israelite culture, it put heavy emphasis on the pantheon and the order, or quote unquote order, in which we are to move, okay? And first it was, the father, then the man, then the mother, then the children, which now I kind of agree with, I kind of don't. But, it puts so much emphasis on the pantheon. And, of course, the real goal was to assimilate Hamashiach, or Mashiach, or Christ, into your life first. And really the emphasis on the angels wasn't so heavy. It wasn't so heavily signified, okay? It wasn't so significant. It wasn't as nearly anywhere significant as adopting Christ was, okay? So that should kind of, and I've noticed in my experience, I felt so much closer to Father, to Source, when I wasn't even dealing with angels. So they are not necessary, okay? They really are not necessary. Not nearly as much as you think they are. Not nearly as much emphasis as you're putting on them, okay? It's so possible. It's so possible to be so much more aware of your own holiness, your own righteousness, without dealing with any of these other entities. It really is. So I'm going to tell you all one last time, you do not need these beings. As a matter of fact, they serve quite a distraction to you, you know? They serve as quite an obstacle to you. Because had you have not had any knowledge at all of a deity, of a spirit guide, of a angel, of all these other things, and only had the pure knowledge that you are God, and expanded that knowledge and expanded those capabilities and further defined them and gave them proper application and use here on this planet, you would already be so much further ahead. So going on to even more deeply say, is it beneficial? Is it always beneficial to introduce your children to some sort of religious system, some sort of deity, or some sort of force? And it's not always true. You don't always need those things, okay? Because children are already born knowing the truth, you know? All you really have to do is reawaken that. With every move that you make here on this planet is about reawakening those things within that child, okay? Helping them to remember it as quickly as possible that, yes, I am God first. If anything, worship your... well, I don't know. I wasn't trying to say that, but I don't know. But teach your children to worship themselves with all humility, with all total responsibility and understanding, understanding, not understanding, but understanding, overstanding of how they are supposed to move with said knowledge, okay? So I'm going to end this video on that. Meditate on that. What if I just told my children straight out the womb that they were God, and spent every move that I made expanding that, shedding the light of the sun on that, watering that like the earth, reawakening them with everything I do, reawakening them to the abilities that they are forced to think that they are without, to heal the karmic cycle through healing what has come out of you, come through you, what lived in you before you even saw the physical representation of it. So I love you all so much, and I'm gonna leave it at that. You're trying to catch on me.